I suppose I got the name ice bear and polar bear from the swims which I've been doing up in the Arctic. 2 years ago I did the first swim across the North Pole, across the most northern place, and the press just latched onto it, and then they started calling me the ice bear. Well, initially when I started swimming I was trying to become the first person to swim around famous landmarks. So I was the first person to swim around the Cape of Good Hope in Africa, around Cape Agulhas, around North Cape. And then after a period of time, I think probably 15, 20 years, I started seeing changes to the environment. And so now all the swims which I do are trying to draw attention to what is happening to the environment. Last year I thought, wow, the next big area in the world where we're going to have real problems is the Himalayas. Big mountain range, water going down into India, China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, these great big rivers, the Yangtze, the Mekong, the Ganges, and I decided, I've got to go do a swim there. I've got to draw attention to what is happening with the melting of those great big glaciers. We've got 1 billion people, over 1 billion people in fact, who rely on the water from the Himalayas. I go around to world leaders and I ask them to be courageous. And if I'm asking them to be courageous, I myself must be courageous. And swimming in a wetsuit or a dry suit is for sissies. It's really that simple. So I'm here in Hyde Park, next to the Serpentine, and this is where I'm going to go and do a swim every single day just to keep my fitness rolling over. This swim is very different to the swims I've done before. Not only is it at altitude, the highest any human has ever swum, at 5,300 meters, it's also cold. The water will be about 1 degree, which just put in perspective is about 4 or 5 degrees colder than the water in which the passengers of the Titanic fell. My message is to go around, get world leaders to ensure that when they meet at the end of the year in Mexico, to cut a deal which is fair and ambitious and is not the catastrophe which happened in Copenhagen at the end of last year. I remember listening to the Chinese premier speaking recently, and he said if you have a problem and you multiply it by 1.3 billion people, which is the population of China, it becomes unsolvable. And equally, if you take a problem and you divide it by 1.3, it becomes solvable. And I think that's a very, very good analogy for climate change. You get so many people who say, oh, what difference will it make if I, make small changes? But multiplied over the 6.8 billion people of this earth, it makes a significant difference. And so if all of us just do small things, then we really can protect this earth. It's an incredibly beautiful place. I want my children and my grandchildren to live and to be able to see polar bears and tigers and elephants and to live in a safe and secure and most importantly a sustainable world.